For me, the biggest takeaway from that game was that Josh Allen has seen a lot of different defenses now. The Flores defense is from that Belichickian coaching scheme, and they do a really good job of disguising their coverages. And as Josh Allen continues to solve defense after defense, you're starting to run out of things that you think can trip him up. So early on in his career, there was a book on Josh Allen, and then he overcame that book. And then there was a new book on Josh Allen, and then he overcame that book. And as I sit down from the perspective of a defense who's trying to minimize this Bills offense, I think to myself, okay, what are you going to do? And I'll level with you, Pat. I have some trouble. And I have I have a decent enough football mind that I can think of the type of things that would potentially be a rock to your scissors or a paper to your rock. And it's really tricky to face the Bills offense because the real significant weakness in the Bills offense is they don't have speed at the running back position. That is a very significant weakness with the Bills offense. But that's not really something you can take advantage of. It's just something you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about really significant, explosive outside plays from the Buffalo Bills run game because they don't have speed to corner. But that doesn't really give you something to attack them with. It just gives you one less thing to worry about. So as you look at the Bills offense, you think, okay, so what is this quick answer? And there is no quick answer anymore. So now the answer to the Bills offense is becoming multiple stages. You have to dig deeper. It's not as simple as just do this thing. And that's what I have argued can help us feel confident about Josh Allen, even if Brian Daboll moves on. Now, I'm not saying we need to throw the bag at the guy because the sample size of elite level play is still one season for Josh Allen. But the fact of the matter is when you look at Josh Allen, you think, okay, what is the solution? How is the quick and easy way as a defense? How are you going to lock down Josh Allen? And the answer is it's not quick and it's not easy. That's the answer. It's not quick and it's not easy. And that's encouraging. And my big takeaway is that the Miami Dolphins came out and Josh Allen didn't look great in the first little bit of that game. But before the first quarter was essentially over, he had solved it and moved on. And the second quarter of that game, he lit him up like a Christmas tree. So we're starting to see things where now, even if you hold Josh Allen down, you don't hold him down for the entire game. And that's my biggest takeaway from the Miami Dolphins game, is that we're going up against a team this upcoming weekend in the Indianapolis Colts who have a defensive coordinator in Matt Eberflus who is good. And the Indianapolis Colts have caused some problems, but they're not going to be able to come in with a single piece of evidence and just slap it on the table and go, bam, you've been solved, Josh Allen. It's not that simple anymore. You have to have multiple things that are timed correctly in order to beat Josh Allen, this Buffalo Bills offense. And that's really encouraging. That's my biggest takeaway from the Miami Dolphins game. And just as I look back across this year, and Josh Allen, he started strong and he ended strong. So you might think that there was no growth. If you think he started at a really good point and he ended at a really good point, you might think that there was no growth between those two data points. And that's not true. Because qualitatively, what he learned along the way, you could see it if you're watching the film. You might not see it. You might think he started good and then he had a lull against Kansas City and Tennessee and then he ended well. You might think that's what happened with Josh Allen. And statistically, you'd be right. But qualitatively, you wouldn't be. Josh Allen's a better quarterback now than he was at the beginning of this year. And that's something to hang your hat on.